Okay, we're ready. We're live. We're still hanging around waiting for people to come. Hello, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late today. We were having some tech problems, but hopefully you can see us and hear us now as we're getting things organized and set up. This is Katie Young.
Hi, everybody.
She's going to be with us in Ecuador this summer, and so are you, hopefully. So we're here to just talk a little bit about Ecuador and our program that's coming up this summer. We're going to give you just another minute or two to adjust your volume. Make sure you can hear us and see us. And you'll also notice, hopefully, on the right side of our screen where you can see us, there's a chat box, so you can ask us any questions that you want to ask. You can go ahead and say hello if you'd like to.
Caroline is here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Caroline.
Jenny.
Perfect.
Caroline. So we'll just give another second for everybody to get organized, just like we needed today. Okay. And while we are doing that, let me get a couple things set up here. A little preview.
Oh, very nice. Oh.
We're looking at pictures of Quito, getting excited about our trip this summer. So I think we'll be ready to start in just a second or two.
Oh, man.
Food. Don't worry, you're going to see all this in just a minute. All right, so let me go ahead and get back over here. And I think we'll get ready to get started. I don't want to make anybody wait. We said 7 o'clock. So I'm Kim Carroll. I think I met a lot of you today, this afternoon, and we're glad you're here to learn a little bit about our program in Ecuador this summer. And if you're just getting here, this is Katie Young, and she's one of our teachers in Ecuador. I'm actually in Charleston today, here with Katie. So we just want to tell you about the program. We actually have two programs running in Ecuador. One is the TESOL certificate program to get certified to teach English overseas. And the second is a Spanish immersion program. So if you want, go ahead and put in the chat box. If you know you're interested in one or the other, let us know which one you're interested in so that we know what you're looking to know more about. While you're doing that, I'm going to bring up some slides so that I can share my screen with you and show you some cool pictures of Ecuador. Okay, so now you probably can't see our faces anymore, so we're just going to talk a little bit and show you some pictures of Ecuador and tell you a little bit about it. This is a picture of the old town in Ecuador, the downtown area that we generally live about 20 minutes walking from.
Yeah.
And one year we lived in this area, so we had a nice walk to school every day, seeing all of this.
It is beautiful and picturesque, and you will absolutely love it. You have to pinch yourself on the walk to school. It's amazing.
It is. So I want you to imagine yourself this summer walking to school, passing historic buildings, and seeing that volcano there that you see in that lower left picture over the tall buildings, and visiting beautiful lakes and lagoons and the rainforest, and doing fun things like zip lining and visiting markets and
bathing in volcanic springs as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all of that is available on our summer trip to Ecuador. Both programs, whether you do the TESOL certificate or the Spanish immersion, start on June 18th, and that's a Saturday. And we ask everyone to arrive on that day, and then starting Sunday morning, after you've had a good rest, we start showing you the city. So you may or may not be familiar with where Ecuador is, but can you find it on the map? Katie's a Spanish teacher, so she can probably tell you where it is.
We were doing this today in class, actually.
So if you found South America, you're getting warm, and it's a little orange country on the west coastal side of South America there, mostly near the top, underneath Colombia and above Peru. And it looks really tiny on the map, but it has one of the highest biodiversity rates in the world. So plants and animals and all kinds of wonderful things that you'd never get to see anywhere else are in Ecuador. As I said before, there's a TESOL certificate course and a Spanish course. And this is a photo of the new section of town, the north end of Quito. And you actually can see that volcano on a really clear day. I've never seen that much of it, but I've seen the little tip of it sticking out. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool place to be. You want to talk about these pictures?
Yeah, so if you look on the bottom left, that is going to be a convent kind of monastery that is in the old historic district. And the first day that you are there, you all are going to get a tour of this area. So when you're done with the jet lag and you're still trying to get used to the elevation, we're going to drag you out of bed so you can get to know your surroundings a bit. And on the top left-hand corner, that is Mitad del Mundo, and that is another excursion that you're going to take, and that is to go and visit the equator. So you'll actually be standing on the equator that day, and it's amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and there's all kinds of different science experiments and whatnot. I won't reveal too much, but you will absolutely love it. And then
I thought it would be so cheesy.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing though. I know.
It's so cool.
It's astounding. Once we're all there together, you'll remember that I mentioned something about the egg, and I'm just going to leave it at that. The top right-hand corner is just a typical market, and this is one of my favorite things about Ecuador is these are fruits and vegetables that you have never heard of, never seen, and you can have these amazing. You can go to what would you call it? Like where they have licuados? What is the word? And they basically have these smoothie bars on the corner. It's like a smoothie and juice bar, and you can get, guanabana juice. And I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I didn't know before I went to Ecuador, and it's absolutely amazing. And then on the bottom right, we just have another, picturesque Quito view. So as you can see there, like Kim mentioned, there's a lot to offer.
Quito is near the top of what they call the Avenue of Volcanoes, and when we go out of town on the weekends, we actually drive the main highway. So as you're driving down, you see all of these volcanoes and mountains, and it's really gorgeous, as you can tell. So lots to do in little Ecuador. A little more fun facts about Ecuador. You have the population of Quito, so it's a pretty decent sized city, but it doesn't ever feel overwhelming. It's not like Mexico City or Sao Paulo, where it's just a millions upon millions of people. It feels really manageable. There's a historic part of town, which is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site, well, the first city actually to be designated as such. So it's all historic buildings and architecture, really interesting Quiteño art. As we said before, tons of biodiversity, and you have the Andes Mountains and valleys. You have the plains, you have the Amazon rainforest and the coast, and of course the Galapagos. Those are all the different regions of Ecuador, so you have a chance to see all of those. We don't go to the Galapagos as part of our tour, but while you're there, it doesn't hurt to take an extra weekend and make that happen. Our school is what you see pictured on the right here. We're in the little patio of the school where we teach, and it's Escuela Equinoccial de Español, or Equinox Spanish School, and it's one of the oldest Spanish schools in Quito. They've been doing this since the 80s, so they know what they're doing, they love what they do, and we partner with them to bring this course or these courses to you. And I think we were having a fruit tasting party or something that day.
That's exactly what it was.
Trying all of the tropical fruits that we could get our hands on.
And the employees there were teaching us how to cut them properly as to not waste. And yeah, it was quite the education.
That's good. So Quito, I think the picture on the left I took from the roof of my apartment one year. You'll all stay in the new area of Quito, the new town, which you can see on the left here. It's the booming banking district and where all the business happens. And then on the right, you see the downtown, the historic center of Quito with the cathedral at the top and lots of beautiful places to walk and stop and have coffee and enjoy life.
And the good thing is that most of you will be staying in that area that Kim is talking about on the top left, which is called Marisol, and it's very close to where the classes are, so you won't have too long of a walk to get to class, but then in the afternoons or whenever you have free time, if you do want to walk to the historic district, it is not far at all, but it's nice to be so closely located to school.
And everything is manageable with a walk or a bus or a taxi, and they're all really affordable. People always ask us why we chose Quito, and it has to do with a lot of serendipity. But in addition to that, it's a really renowned historical and cultural city. Quito now is one of the top 5 places, I think, to retire for U.S. citizens to retire to. So Ecuador's getting more and more famous and popular. It's a small city, as cities go, but it has everything that you need. It uses U.S. dollars. I don't know if you know that in Ecuador they use the U.S. dollar, so you don't have to do any math in your head every day. And the power outlets are the same, so you don't need any special power.
Which is always the best. That's always so frustrating.
The weather's beautiful, so at the time of year that we're going, it usually gets 5 in the afternoon. And at night, it might go down to 60 or 55 if it's really cold. So you'll need a sweater or a jacket, but it's just beautiful weather most every day.
And especially living in the South, it's like the perfect escape. And if you're a female and you hate the bad hair days in the summer, you go there and the humidity. I mean, it's the perfect place to escape to in the Charleston summer.
In the southern
for sure.
summer, absolutely. There's lots of free Wi-Fi in the area that Katie mentioned. So there's a big square with lots of restaurants and bars and things. And pretty much the whole area is wired with Wi-Fi. We don't require that you bring a computer, but everyone these days likes to have their device. So just know that it's available for you. And it's a really famous place to learn English and also, not to learn English, to learn Spanish. And so it's a great place for us to be because if you're here for the Spanish immersion course, it's the Spanish is really clear and it's very standard. The Spanish you learn there, you can transfer to pretty much anywhere. And as an English teacher in training, it's a great place to teach because there's tons of schools where they're learning English, and we partner with those schools to give you your practical experience. So lots of great things about Quito. So in addition to the classes, which you know a little bit about because all that information is on our website, Katie's going to tell you a little bit about some of the excursions that we go on.
Yeah, so in the afternoons, and I had already mentioned going to the equator, that's one of the trips, but if you are doing Spanish immersion, then in the afternoons you are going to be seeing different places in Quito with your teacher. So that could be, different museums. You could go to the botanical garden and, all kinds of different cool places right there in Quito. But in addition, there's a few trips that we do as a group. And one of them being the Mitad del Mundo, all going to the equator together. We also go to Otavalo together, which is a huge market. And it is just a beautiful, once again, I mean, it sounds so cheesy, but everything is just so breathtaking. And it's a wonderful place, to get bargains and to see all the different textiles that they offer. So that's another trip that we would take. And Otavalo is a really quaint, cute city that you guys will really enjoy. And then we also go to Baños. And Baños we were talking about the volcanic hot springs earlier. That's one thing that you can do there. But it is also, you can go on a waterfall hike. Last year we didn't go zip lining.
Last year
we went rappelling last year. Yeah, but you can go zip lining. There's all kinds of different stuff that you can do. It's just known for having a really wide variety of outdoor attractions. And for the more adventurous people, they can, take it to that place and they can get scared and enjoy what you know, what being in another country where they're not afraid of being sued, what that can offer. Those of you that are a little bit, you know, more cautious, I mean, everything is safe, but it's just a huge variety of stuff that you would never get to do in the United States. So yeah, Baños is an amazing place. You guys will really like that too.
And if all that adventure isn't your style, they're also really famous for their spas. The massages and the spas, there's probably 100 different places to do that in Baños. So you can jump off a bridge and then you can go get a massage all in the same day. Great. So Otavalo, that Katie was telling you about, is in the top right. That's the indigenous market, and it's just the best place for picture taking ever, and it's really colorful and beautiful. And there we are on a zip line on the bottom left, which I think I did last time I was there. It's a really fun course.
Yes.
And it rained the whole time. It was really, it sounds terrible, but it was really fun.
It's hard for anything to be terrible when you're ziplining in Ecuador.
It's true. Okay, those are some of the excursions that we'll do on the weekends, and this is all covered as part of your tuition for the trip. All of the weekend excursions and the class and all the rest. So what will daily life be like besides jumping off of bridges and zip lining? You will live with a host family, and generally you have your own bedroom and shared living space. In many cases you have your own bathroom, but sometimes that's shared with another student or with members of the family. Your meals and your laundry is included in the price as well. And most of the places you'll stay are within walking distance to the school, and they're all in neighborhoods that you can really easily get to a corner store or a bus stop or anything like that. If you cannot walk to school or you don't feel like walking, you can always take a bus or you can always take a taxi. One year we had a group that just really thought it was great to take a taxi every day for $1. So they basically got a guy to come and pick them up every day, and he enjoyed having the consistent business every morning at 8 o'clock, and they just took a cab to school every day. But there's no need to do that if you don't want to. You can usually walk and take a bus.
But living with a host family is wonderful, and the participants, those that are doing Spanish immersion, have really loved it because they're Spanish. I mean, if you're just hanging out with Americans all day, you know, where the tendency is to speak English, so it really pushes you, and then you really get to know the culture on a different level. And those of you that are there doing TESOL, you know, you're also experiencing the culture. Your Spanish will get better, even if that's not what your main objective is. But especially as people that are interested in traveling internationally and teaching English, it's a great experience to just be immersed in a different culture.
Cool. I'm going to take a little break here and stop showing you PowerPoint slides so you can think for a minute about what questions you have. It might take me a minute to get to them because I have to refresh my screen, but go ahead and type into the chat box if you have any questions for us at this point, and we will see them and answer them, hopefully. If for some reason that doesn't work, our email will be on this, and you can always email us later and we will answer your questions that way. So some of these are older. So I'm looking here at Donna. I hope you're with us, Donna. We are live, and you should have gotten the link. And I think that if you're on this discussion, you probably did. And if not, I'm going to send you the replay of this anyway. So I hope you're with us. You can let us know if you're with us. So go ahead and type your questions in. I'm going to keep refreshing this screen so that we can see what your questions are. But I will go back to some more pictures for you. Got a lot of moving parts on this thing, so. Okay. So a typical day during the program, the TESOL and the Spanish are very similar, but a little bit different. You can see on both, you basically wake up, have breakfast with your family, and then come to school. The Spanish program usually starts at 8 a.m. I haven't heard any differently, so I would say it usually starts at 8. The TESOL usually starts at 8:30, just to stagger a little bit. There's a break in the middle of the day, but you're basically in class all morning, either with Katie and I and Maria, or with a Spanish teacher, a native Spanish teacher who has been doing this for a really long time and very excited about you learning Spanish. Lunch is generally 12 to 2-ish in Ecuador, and people take a longer lunch there. At lunch, you can go home and eat with your family if you like, or you can go out. There's plenty of restaurants right around the school, and a typical Ecuadorian lunch that's their main meal. So it's usually soup and rice and meats and potatoes and salad and dessert and fresh juice. And it usually costs maybe $3, sometimes $2.
Yeah.
A more expensive place might be $3.50 or $4, but you can plan on $2 to $4 for a big lunch if you want to go out.
But don't be worried if you're a vegetarian or pescatarian or have other dietary restrictions, because there's a lot of wonderful food and the families are extremely accommodating.
Yeah, they've all been working with us meaning gringos, people coming from the U.S. For a long time, so they're very accustomed to having students in their houses. In the afternoon, if you are in the Spanish intensive program, you'll usually be with your teacher and other students doing excursions around the city. So you'll go to visit museums, you'll go to see the architecture. There's so many things to do in Quito, and so your teacher will take you. So your Spanish learning continues, but out in the streets. If you're in the TESOL program, you'll be doing things for your practicum, or maybe a workshop for class, or you may have free time in the afternoon. And then the evenings are for doing homework, for hanging out with your family, for going out, whatever it is that you do in the evening. And the weekends are when we do those excursions around Ecuador that we mentioned to you. So it's a long day. We're typically kind of tired the first week because of the altitude and the schedule and all the walking.
But you get used to it.
But it's wonderful. You'll love it.
It's a good tired.
It's a good tired. And we talked a little about the food, so you can see that you have lots of delicious options. These are all typical Ecuadorian dishes. My personal favorites are their soups are amazing, and the ceviche with the fish or shrimp, which you see, I think on the right over there, is my other favorite.
And cebollada?
Oh, that might be in cebollada. I'm not sure.
And this cazuela?
It could be. I would say
it's
all
delicious.
The soups and all the ceviches.
And I love that there's avocado on everything. It's
Every
like a
plate
little,
has avocado.
Just like that.
Little treats. And popcorn in the soup. You don't get that everywhere.
No, definitely not.
Okay. So just a little bit more information. I'll tell you about the TESOL, and Katie can tell you about the Spanish. So the TESOL course is a blended course, and we actually start it before we go to Ecuador. So we have our first meeting on May 24th, and we meet online. So we'll meet via Skype or some program like this Google Hangout, and I'll give you your assignments for the week. So you're working on coursework for a few weeks before we get to Ecuador. We all arrive on June 18th, and we have 3 solid weeks plus an extra weekend in Ecuador to complete the coursework and to complete the practicum. So by the time you leave Ecuador, you're finished with all of your requirements for the course. And as most of you already know, we have a partnership with the College of Charleston. And with that, we can offer you graduate credits for this course. So it's actually 2 classes of 3 credits each through the Professional Development and Education Department. And you can get those for taking this course. So that's kind of how the TESOL certificate course works.
And then the Spanish immersion, you guys have the choice of doing 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then in addition, Kim went over how that works in the morning with your teacher. And I just can't stress enough how great the teachers are and how much experience they have. And most of the time, it is a one-on-one or two-on-one situation. So they really make sure that they are meeting you at your level. It's not going to be like it would be if you took a big class here in the States where there's 20 people. And I mean, it is one-on-one. And so you are getting your needs met. And in addition, there is the option of having 3 graduate credits for that as well.
So if you're a teacher, these are recertification credits for you. If you're not a teacher, these are, the TESOL course is a letter graded course, and the Spanish immersion is a pass-fail course. And so you can get your transcripts for that, and Sometimes they transfer to other schools if you decide to go to grad school later on, so it doesn't hurt to have those. They are not required. They're optional, but if you want to do them, they're there for you. Okay, so how does this all work? The TESOL certificate program is $31.97 in tuition, and that includes pretty much everything except your plane ticket. So that's the TESOL course and the materials and the practicum. It's your certificate from English for Life Academy. It's your room and board with your private room, your meals with your family. We'll pick you up at the airport. All your laundry's done with your family. We will be there with you the whole time. One of our program directors or trip directors from English for Life, and all of your weekend excursions are also included in that. So the only additional that you need to bring is for your own personal expenses. $50 a week would probably be enough, but it depends on what you want to buy. I mean, you can buy lots of little trinkets for $1 or $2, or you can buy really, really fine leather for hundreds of dollars, which here would cost thousands of dollars. So it's really up to you how much you spend. But if you're on a budget, I would say budget $50 a week, and that probably covers what you need.
And it also depends. Some people decide that, that they would rather eat lunch out every day to experience, more different types of food. Once again, that's an option, but all your 3 meals a day are provided for you. So for those of you that are on a fixed income, those of us, I would say, you definitely want to take advantage of that. And I can just talk about the Spanish program. So the 2-week program is $1,997. The 3 weeks is going to be $2,747. And much of what it includes is the same, except you're going to have those private or semi-private, either 1 or 2 students per Spanish teacher. Those will be in the morning, and then the afternoon excursions, your room and board, 3 meals a day, and then same as the other one, airport pickup, laundry services, and then you're going to have those excursions on the weekend. So, yeah, it pretty much includes everything.
Yeah, except the plane ticket. It's all pretty much covered. And there's reasons why we don't bundle the plane ticket. Many reasons. One of them is that we're all coming from different cities, so I always have people in this program from different areas in the U.S., and so I don't want to require them to fly to Atlanta first so that we can leave together to go to Ecuador. And then we all have different needs and desires in traveling. I know some of us are looking for just the budget trip, and I don't care how many stops I have, and some of us only want to fly first class or definitely don't want to have to do transfers. So you do what works best for you, and you send us your flight information, and we will pick you up at the airport. So that's why we left that as it is. I think we covered all this already. So it includes the airfare and includes, it does not include the airfare or personal expenses that you might spend. And the tuition for the graduate credits is a little bit extra. So it is $300 for the 3 credits or $450 for the 6 credits. And you'll just let us know if you want to add that on or not at the beginning when you register.
And I think that it can, we all work hard. It can seem like it's a big investment, but really when you break it down and you think about everything that you are getting, it really is, it's just a great opportunity. And you're getting so much private instruction, so much time, even with the TESOL instructors, and you're getting your practicum and all of that. So it's really, yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile investment.
And it's really, really fun.
And it's yes.
So I want to encourage you to take a minute now and type any last minute questions you have into that chat box so we can answer them for you. And if this sounds like what you want to do this summer, definitely what I want to do this summer. I think it's what you want to do this
Most
summer,
definitely.
Katie.
Yes.
So please come and join us. If you have questions, you can give me a call. We can schedule a meeting. And I'll give you my email right here, or you can just hit reply to any of those emails that came to you today about this webinar, and I will get it. Just say, I want to talk to you about this, I have questions, and I will talk to you. You can register for the program on the website. And I'll send you one more email in about an hour, and it'll have the registration link on there as well. So you can just go to the website and register either for the TESOL or for the Spanish program. When you register, it'll have a page for you to fill out like an application. And when you hit submit, it's going to take you to a PayPal page to put down a $100 deposit. That reserves your space in the course. Spaces are really limited. We cap our TESOL program at 15 students generally. So if you want to do this, make sure you do it soon. The deadline to apply is April 1st, and we talked to a lot of people today who are interested. So if you're thinking about it, make sure that you don't lose the opportunity. So you can register for the program. Once you're registered, I'll send you an invoice, I'll call you, and in the next couple of months, we'll be talking a lot. I'll send you emails, we send you a packing list and information about things to prepare and information about learning Spanish and websites you can go to practice and stuff about Ecuador. And because the TESOL class starts before we go, you'll already know everyone that you're traveling with by the time we go. So that's kind of cool. We'll also have an online orientation session, so we'll schedule that once everyone is registered to fit everyone's schedule. And the last thing to do is pack your bags, and we'll meet you at the airport. Anything else you want to add, Katie?
Nothing else I can think of. Just please do not hesitate. If you have any questions, please just let us know. Or if you would feel more comfortable talking with someone that's been, that's had this experience, we can put you in touch with someone. People from a lot of diverse backgrounds, different ages, and all that have joined us. And so if it is something that you would feel better talking to someone that has experienced it, we would love to put you in contact with someone if that would put you at ease. So please, just anything, any question that you want to get answered, we are definitely here for you.
One more thing I want to add, because I'm concerned about this deadline and making sure that if you want to come with us, that you can come with us. I would like to, today's Wednesday, and I know that some of you told me you'd be watching the replay. So I would like to offer a discount to anybody who is on this webinar. We generally do, well, let's say $150 discount. If you apply, if you go finish the registration process by Sunday night, I can't even tell you what the date it is. Do I have to get that specific? What's Sunday?
You do. The 27th.
The 27th at midnight. If you so desire. 27th at midnight. $150 off.
Right. You heard it from the boss lady.
So if this is interesting to you, don't wait until April 1st. Don't wait until Monday. Do it Sunday, and then you can take advantage of that discount too. And let us know if you have any other questions. We're happy to answer them for you, or as Katie said, put you in touch with people who have done this before. I think our last program, we had people from age, I don't know, 23? I was going to say 22 or 23 was our youngest, and then 65 was our oldest. So this is really something that anybody can do. And because we are a small group, we can really help to make this work for you and your needs and what you're there to do. If you like adventure, we can do that.
Yes.
If you like relaxing, we can do that too. So here's my information. Go ahead and jot down the phone number and the email address, or like I said, just hit reply to any of those emails that came to you today. And register by Sunday so you can get $150 off, because we don't really do discounts for Ecuador. We've never done discounts for Ecuador.
No, I've never heard this before.
I just invented it. So,
all right.
Because I want you to come with us. Okay, till Sunday. So give me a call before then. I look forward to talking with you. And oh gosh,
see if there's
we should. Sorry, I'm ignoring your question.
We'll see if there's any questions.
Let me get back to our.
She's so busy giving away free money that she just can't even keep the other side.
Can't even figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so let me check over here. Refresh this page so that I can see if there's any other questions. It takes a minute for my computer to update here.
You don't have that keto high-speed Wi-Fi that you need.
If only. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. So,
Gerald?
yay, Donna, I'm glad you found us. Gerald, I think we answered your question about the cost, I hope. Seems like we did.
But if you have more questions, then just let us know. We can definitely send you a follow-up email.
Absolutely. I'm going to refresh one more time because now I feel like everyone's probably writing their questions in right now. Last chance to ask a question. Okay, it's coming. Here we are. Okay, I think we.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, good, another question. Is there a particular level of Spanish proficiency you must possess for the Spanish immersion? You want to answer that one?
Definitely not. All levels are welcome. There are people that are starting from Hola, from people that are going to be working in a foreign country and are looking to improve their academic Spanish. So no, all levels are welcome. And that's where that 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 teacher to student ratio becomes so important. And I think that that's what makes the program so unique. So no, all levels are welcome.
The first day of class, they have a proficiency test that they'll give you. So they'll have a good idea of what your level is grammatically and reading, writing, all that stuff. So that's how they decide who your teacher is. And if there's someone who's at your same level, you might be with 1 or 2 other people. But generally, the teachers there are accustomed to working with from beginners, just people who show up, backpackers who are like, hey, I'm going to travel South America, so let me learn some Spanish. All the way up to 1 year I was there, there was a group of Spanish teachers from, I think, Washington State University, and they were coming as a professional development program. So they were all, I mean, a couple of them were native speakers, actually, and they were learning about Ecuadorian culture and history. So, and the teachers there, I know, love working with that level because they usually are working with beginner and intermediate.
Yeah.
So I know Piedad, when I was talking to her, she said, oh, I love working with the high levels because we can talk about culture and language. And it's really fun. I always take Spanish classes when I'm there too in the afternoons because I don't want to waste summer in Ecuador.
Oh, definitely. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, and the teachers are great.
Yeah.
So no matter what
really
level you're at, they will accommodate. Okay, I'm going to do it again now. Try one more question. Every time I refresh, there's one more. So let's do it.
And I think I would need a whole course just to learn all the names of the fruits and vegetables. I mean, that's one that
1 year.
They should have just a fruit and vegetable course. I would take that. It's just really applicable.
1 year, Sarah and I forced Piedad into taking us to the fruit market and buying every fruit we could find and teaching us.
One of the teachers did that last year.
When is it ripe? How do you cut it?
Yes.
How do you eat it? Do you make juice? Do you add milk? What do you do with this? It was great. Okay, great. I think we're about done. Do you have anything else you want to add, Katie?
We would love to see you. We hope that this works out. We hope you can fit it into your summer. It's a wonderful experience. It's just an amazing way to pass the summer. So spend the summer. I know. Look at that. There we go. So yeah, it would be absolutely wonderful to have you there.
If Ecuador doesn't work out for you this summer and you're interested in TESOL, we do have classes in Greenville and Charleston, but come to Ecuador. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you in Ecuador.